What's up, Sabercats? You're listening to the Cat Chat, where we interview Southmore's best. I am your host, Ace Brown, and our guest today is head football coach of Southmore High School, Coach Jones. Coach, thank you for joining us. Let's start about was there any specific moment in your when you knew coaching was your path you wanted to take?
Well, kind of, sort of. My dad was my high school football coach. He coached in the state of Oklahoma over 30 years. And so I always grew up around the game, grew up around that profession. And I actually, however, didn't go graduate high school and go into college thinking I wanted to be a coach. I was kind of heading into the sports medicine field. Thought about, athletic training, some physical therapy, kind of that direction. And then about 2 years into college, I realized, I'm not close enough to the game. And so I really wanted to be involved more. And so I chose coaching and then never looked back.
Yeah. What was one of your proudest moments as a coach?
Proudest moments. I don't know if I can just come up with one moment. What really makes me proud to be a coach is to see my athletes flourish, and not just really on the field. Everybody comes out to Friday night and sees the product, but what really makes me proud is when those guys graduate and text me or call me and invite me to their weddings and tell me about the kids they're having and just talk about life and how they're doing well. And so those are one of my proudest moments as a coach. We all love to win football games on Friday nights, and that's what everybody really sees. But I think more of how our athletes and players win at life really makes me proud.
Right. Kind of piggybacking off of that, what is there any examples that come to mind from how people have become greater men in the program?
Yeah, I love to hear back from my former players. I think once you play for me or graduate from our program, that I always want to stay in touch. And I love hearing back from some of our guys that have played for me. And just probably 2 weeks ago, one of my former quarterbacks who graduated, I think, in 2018, showed up here at Southmore School, and I coached him when I was a coach at Bristow, and he showed up, and we just had a good talk, and and so he's staying in touch and doing well and flourishing in life. And so that's just one of many examples. And so I love to hear back from my former guys and see how they're doing.
That's great. You know, just after all that, coming back, staying in touch, and not just seeming like you're forgotten about.
You bet. And
Yeah.
I think, yeah, and that's the greatest thing about football and athletics in general is those relationships that you build and how important that is, and to to always stay in touch with your coaches and develop those relationships with your players. Man, I think that's what it's really all about.
Right. So, what are some core values you believe are in your program here at Southmore?
You bet. So we started our core values with the acronym CAT, CAT. So C stands for character. And character, how I define character is it's who you are, it's what you do, it's how you live, it's the essence of your being. And so that is first and foremost, hopefully in our program, that our guys develop and graduate with great character. The A stands for accountability. Taking ownership of your actions. You're responsible. A for accountability. And then T in CAT is for toughness. And toughness, we know about physical toughness in the game of football is extremely important. But I define toughness as choosing the right path, even if it's the harder one. Are you doing the right thing, even when it's easy to go in a different way? So to me, that is toughness, and those are our core values: character, accountability, and toughness. And I think if our kids and our players display those, then we'll have a great season.
Coach, I'd like to ask you what inspires you out either football in life or just in general.
Well, I think anytime you talk about inspiration and all those things, I don't think you can ever, go too far without mentioning your faith. And my faith, I hope is strong in God and those things. And so I think that's where I develop my inspiration and am grounded and see everything through that lens of how Christ sees his disciples and his followers, and that's what a Christian is being Christ-like. And so that's where it starts and that's where it ends with me. And I fall short of that standard all the time, but that's the goal, and that's the what I always want to point to and center myself back with is that inspiration of Christ likeness.
Right? Do you have any hobbies besides football? Because I know that takes up a whole lot of time being a player, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. So I do. We try to have a good work life balance, and some of the times that's tough, and you go through different seasons. But I love the game of golf. I've gotten to coach golf several times in my career. Love to play that game. I like reading all kinds of books, so I always have something to read and enjoy doing that. Me and my wife like to go on short weekend trips, little vacations here and there, and uh, see some things we haven't seen before. We got to go to California and San Francisco last spring break for a couple of days, so that was enjoyable. And uh, we like to do a lot of things together. Go to movies. We love going to places that have water, whether it's pools, lakes, oceans. We like to swim and hang out by water, and so there's a lot of stuff in life to enjoy. And football takes up a lot of time, and it does, and it requires a great commitment. But there are other things outside that we like to do.
Right. Speaking of movies, what would be your Mount Rushmore for greatest films? If
Yeah, I'm
you're,
not very good at that at
yeah,
all. I don't have a favorite. I think sports movies, always come to mind. We Are Marshall. You ever seen that? That's about the Marshall University. Um, their football team, their plane crashed, and Matthew McConaughey is stars in that. That was a great movie. Rudy is a movie about Notre Dame football player. I'm a big Notre Dame fan, right behind OU, and so that was always a great movie. But those two just come off top of my head. I don't know if I have a Mount Rushmore type of movie list. So
yeah, uh,
I love Top Gun Maverick.
yeah,
I love that. So I never get tired of watching that one.
yeah. Maverick, I think, was one of the only films that was better than the original, in my opinion. Yeah,
You're right.
right. Then like Terminator 2, then it just kind of goes down.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's hard to duplicate the original.
right. If there's any advice you want students here to know, what is it?
Wow. Advice that I want students to know.
Right,
Man, uh, don't take it for granted. You only get this high school years, 4 years. You're only guaranteed 4 years. Do as much as you can, because when you're old like me and you look back and like, man, I wish I would have. Rarely you regret doing getting involved and doing many things. So usually the regret comes from, man, I wish I would have done this or I wish I would have done that. So while you have this short time span of 4 years, and that might seem like a long time, it's really not. And so, while you're at Southmore High School, get involved in as much things as you can, whether that's sports, whether that's clubs, whether that's extracurricular activities, whatever that might be. Is get involved and go enjoy it, because pretty soon you won't have it anymore.
This last little bit is a quick thing we like to do here called the 30-second blitz. I have a plethora of questions I'm going to ask you. You're going to try to just get them done
Okay.
until they're all out.
Okay.
Favorite artist or band?
Wow. I loved growing up. New Edition, Boys to Men, some R&B stuff. Man, I'm pretty eclectic in my music taste. I love all the '80s kind of bands too. Chicago is a favorite. Bon Jovi. Um, so there's a lot. I'm pretty diverse in my music.
Yeah. Uh, favorite football team in the NFL?
I don't watch a whole lot of NFL during the season because we work on Sundays mostly, but it's Detroit Lions.
Yeah. What team do you just hate?
I don't know if I have one of those, especially NFL. College, being an OU fan, you don't like Texas, so I have to go that one.
Yeah. Did the dinosaurs build the pyramids?
No.
All right, that was a pretty quick one. Favorite childhood show?
The Wonder Years.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fred Savage. I just remember our whole family watching that when we was growing up, and the Wonder Years. Yeah.
Going back to music, if there's one album you can listen to for the rest of your life, what would it be?
One album. Oh gosh, I don't know. Um, a greatest hits by somebody. I mentioned Chicago earlier. Let's go Chicago.
Right.
Won't waste time.
And last question: who has it better than us?
Nobody. Nobody has it better than us.
And if you are not football, that is one of Coach Jones' many little sayings we have here, and it really makes you think. We have such a great band, cheer, palm, football that really, when you think about it, if no one really even touches what a great school we have here. And well, Coach, I believe that's all the time we have. I'd like to thank you for joining me here. And most importantly, thank you for listening. Our platforms, if you could just like the video, subscribe if you're on Spotify, hit the little star button for us, and stay classy, Southmore.